Took much of what I said about the Sprint ST in my Sprint ST review, and they listened to me, and they made the Sprint GT. I know you're sitting there right now going, what? They didn't listen to you. What are you talking about? Let me just bring out my little notepad here and take a look at something. Well, the Sprint ST was not comfortable for two people. They created in the GT more passenger room and more passenger seat, 2-passenger foot peg room. I did have the official 2WF.com passenger pillion tester on the back of this bike for a ride last night, as a matter of fact. She was extremely comfortable the whole time. She said the seat to peg relationship was perfect. It was great, nothing to change. The other thing I said was that it was down on power a little. Triumph gave it 5 more horsepower. Saddlebags, too small. Can't fit a full-size helmet in there. These saddlebags will fit a full-size helmet. The GT, 128 horsepower at 9,200 RPMs. But here's the important part. 80 foot-pounds at 6,300 RPMs for the GT. So, what Triumph did in creating this bike is they did lengthen it a little bit. The wheelbase actually increases by about 3 inches. It's actually 3.2 if you want to get specific, but about 3 inches. Which gives the bike, the GT, a little bit slower turn than the ST. That does happen. The bike does not like the tighter corners as much as the ST does. However, long sweepers and the ride itself is much, much better on the GT than the ST. Let's talk about the motor for a second. The motor itself, incredibly good. It is probably the power band that you would want in any sport touring bike, or really almost any street bike. The motor is a 1050cc triple. You basically have a pretty flat torque curve that goes just straight up. There is no big rush, there's no big hit, just solid power all the way. There's your rider footrest, and this is one of the gripes that I have with the motorcycle. When your foot is sitting here, with your arch over top of the peg, no problem. However, when you slide back to be on the balls of your foot or further back, your heel contacts this. And you can see where the peg is on my foot. I can't get my foot there unless I pull it out, which puts a strain here on my leg, and move it back that way. Which now I'm really far out, put my whole hand down there, between the heel guard and my foot. Not a really comfortable position to ride in. It puts a strain on your knee. So that is an issue right there. It's a long reach to that lever. And the best part is, that's all the way in. That's as close as it gets. And there is very little play and movement to this. And unfortunately, there's also very little feel and feedback. Reflector style headlights, not projectors like on the ST, reflector style. And they did that to get better light distribution. And it works pretty well. They are pretty bright lights. One thing I'm sure you're all aware of, or some of you may be aware of, is that every Triumph we've had, when you shut down the bike, it makes this weird warbling, electronic, talking robot noise. My theory is that that is actually communicating with the mothership. It's sending all the telemetry back to Triumph about how you're abusing its bike. That's what I think. That's what I'm thinking. I could be wrong. It may be nothing more than the fuel injection system decompressing, or the computer resetting, or anything else, but I think that it's sending back telemetry to the mothership. They're actually aliens in disguise. They're Transformers. That's my theory anyway. So here we have the 2011 Triumph Sprint GT. Heading back to Triumph tomorrow for another journalist to go ahead and take out. We've had it for 3 weeks. It's been a fun-filled 3 weeks. Very enjoyable. Good-looking bike. It's still, by and large, a sporty sport touring bike. I think you'll find that out if you ride it.